Hey, what's going on, Weavers? Tim here again, and are you guys a fan of wristwear? Well, of course most of you are. We make a lot of bracelets in this hobby, but how about skill toys? Do you like to keep your hands busy? Perhaps a fan of titanium? Well, enough with the questions. If you answered yes to any of those, you may like these Aroundsquare MKUltras. And in today's episode, we'll be having a closer look at these modern Komboloi and mala beads. Let's get into it. So for the uninitiated, Aroundsquare is an excellent company run by my fellow Canadian and buddy Matt, who makes skill toys such as Beglary, Knucklebones, and Deadeyes. These MKUltras are one of his latest and greatest offerings. As the name denotes, and as mentioned earlier, these are a modern hybrid version of what are known as Komboloi and mala beads. Komboloi are worry beads that originate from Greek culture. Traditional Komboloi are made from various materials such as stone, wood, or bone, and they are generally carried and used to keep the hands busy, relax, pass time, and even as a means to quit smoking. And on the other hand, mala beads are simply a string of beads that are used in meditation practice, often used to count mantras to act as a tactile guide as you meditate in silence. Mala beads are often worn on the wrist, unlike Komboloi that are usually carried. The MKUltras by Aroundsquare are an updated take on these age-old objects, and this version can be worn as a bracelet, but also it's made from much more modern materials such as titanium. The bracelet consists of 19 micro boss beads that are 11.8 millimeters in diameter and one little boss bead that's 15 millimeters in diameter. The entire set weighs in at 71 grams. Now these are one of the offerings that they come in, and since receiving this set, Matt has made the Ultras available in a few more different materials such as aluminum, brass, copper, and stainless steel. In terms of machining and quality, these have been very nicely finished and machined with a nice high polish on them. These are just a pleasure to hold and wear. They come in two versions, the only difference being the Aroundsquare logo marking on the little boss bead. I have the AO2 logo here, and the other one has a circular word mark of Aroundsquare. So as a piece of jewelry and a bracelet, the Ultras use the little boss bead as a friction fastener that allows you to adjust the size and fit of the bracelet simply by sliding the bead back and forth. This is a great method of closing the bracelet as it's quick and easy to adjust, and you don't need to worry about a knot coming undone. The cord is compressed through the keeper bead, which create a good amount of tension and will not move unless you adjust it. The beads are strung up on this black accessory cord, which you'll get a bit of extra cord along with a nice felt bag in the box. So we've talked about what these are, and now let's talk about how to use them. There are a few ways to enjoy and use these. From the mala perspective, the keeper bead can be loosened slightly, and for a more subtle and quiet way of handling these beads, they can be counted and cycled through. Of course, if you meditate or repeat a mantra, this can be used as a tool for that meditation. I myself find it quite satisfying to cycle through and count the beads even if I'm not trying to meditate or anything like that. It's a very enjoyable and tactile experience. Next, we have the raindrops method, and this is more towards the Komboloi side of the product, whereby using two hands you can hold both ends of the string and slide the beads back and forth. As the beads slide and meet each other on the other side, you get this nice sound effect that can be incorporated into your two-handed or single-handed play. And now for a louder and more overt way of play, the Ultras can be manipulated much like Beglary, albeit the style of play is much simpler and more like playing Beglary's short game. To set these up for play, you simply pull the keeper bead all the way out to the end of the knots and divide the beads. I find the most even weight is to have 8 beads towards the keeper side. From there, you can do a few simple tricks. Unlike Beglary, it's a bit more limited, but still enjoyable and fun nonetheless. I mainly do this simple repeater with a few flourishes for some added flash. And finally, a quick word on these as a wearable. I do really enjoy them as a bracelet. I love the titanium and the look and feel of it. The bracelet still does have some heft to it, as there are a good number of beads on here, but to me it's more than manageable. However, if you get them in a different material, they could be heavier. I also think the bracelet looks great paired with a round paracord bracelet like this snake knot or vortex. And one little thing I tend to do when I'm wearing it is to wrap the extra cord and knot it like so, as I don't like having tassels or anything really hanging off my wrist. So there we have it, folks, the Aroundsquare MKUltras, a truly unique hybrid of Komboloi and mala beads that makes some great wristwear as well as a skill toy. So for those of you that are interested, I'll have a link below to Matt's shop. Do be aware that these are a bespoke product and done in small runs, so expect bespoke prices. These will definitely not be for everyone for that matter, and if you do think they might be a bit too pricey, well then just simply don't buy them. However, if this sort of thing is what you're into, I think you really will love them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That being said, a huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters. If you want access to exclusive tutorials as well as our Discord server, feel free to check on my Patreon page. Link in the video cards as well as down below. You can join for as little as $3 a month. You can also support this channel by liking the video and commenting. Also, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out what I have to offer on the rest of my channel.